Oh, we're on.
Oh, we're here.
Ooh.
We're on.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh. You felt that?
I did.
We didn't get our welcome screen this time.
We didn't.
Straight in.
Yeah, straight in and kicking off the month in style, Dan. I'm looking forward to this month. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fighting February. It's going to be kung fu and fighting and sword fighting and action and explosions and boxing even. You know, any type of fighting you can name, we got it here for you this month.
Fighting, it goes well with Valentine's, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Which, of course, is not the highlight of this month.
No.
14th of February for me this year is something far more important. A pre-order on the Nintendo eShop.
Got his priorities right.
Absolutely.
But talking about the film that we're going to go back to.
Let's do that.
I mean, yeah, that's why we're here, isn't it?
That's why we're here. Well, I'm always here.
We're talking about... This is probably... Actually, no. We've spoken about a few other old films, but this is another oldie.
How old is old?
This film came out in 1954.
Colour?
Nope.
Ooh.
This film is called Seven Samurai and is considered by many as one of the best films ever made.
That's a bold claim.
It is a very bold claim.
Bold claim. I'm making that now.
Whether or not I agree on it, we'll get into that. Watching a black and white Japanese film with English subtitles from the 1950s, which happens to be over 3 hours long, is enough to make me anxious. But doing so in a...
doesn't it?
It does. But doing so in a cinema re-release makes it all the more of a risk as it is as a first-time viewer. I didn't even watch this in the comforts of my own home. I watched this.
Okay, so you watched this. You watched the re-release.
Yep.
Originally.
Yeah. But I couldn't turn down this opportunity, as I have heard by many that this is one of the best films ever made. And what movie reviewer would I be if I didn't check this film out when given the opportunity?
So just to check, it's subtitled. Is there any sound?
Yes. Yeah. There's sound and everything.
It's just not English.
They just talk Japanese.
Okay.
Going by its production value, linear narrative, action sequences, comedic timing, and overall story, I see why it is considered by many to be such a great film. As far as the plot goes, it would be best to simplify in a non-spoiler manner. So this is literally the plot simplified, right? Village is under attack by a huge army of bandits. Village knows when the attack will take place, and they take it upon themselves to hire 7 samurai, cue title, to protect them. Does this remind you of any plot of any kind of Pixar film at the moment? They hire a group to protect them from bandits.
It does.
Yeah?
It does.
Oh, we'll come back to it.
Mm.
There happened to be an intermission during my screening, so I'll split the film into 2 parts when reviewing it.
Why didn't I get that with Lord of the Rings?
You didn't watch it in the cinema, Dan.
Oh, that's true. I could have actually paused.
You could have paused at any point you
time.
want. You could have paused it 5 times if you wanted.
I didn't, though.
You didn't. You sat through it all in one. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
The first half was my favourite half because it was fun to meet the 7 titular characters, see their personalities clash, and a lot of comedic elements at play. The second half was still very entertaining, but I did feel the action sequences went on for a bit too long. I know the film is from the 1950s, but some of the death scenes were a tad underwhelming for me. The bad guys getting little jabs and then they're instantly dead were funny deaths to watch, though, I must say.
It reminds me of 2021.
Yeah. Ooh, too soon.
Well...
Some samurai were more memorable than others. I can recall a good 5 out of the 7 of them, though, as those 5 had very distinguished personalities. You got the older leader, you have the young wannabe, you got the chubby woodcutter, you have the stoic, quiet badass, and, of course, you have the drunk one that appears in all the posters. Then the other 2 that I don't really recall, it's like the 7 Dwarves, really, to an extent. You got the grumpy one, you got the happy one. But yeah, it was a mixed bag of characters. But to close down, seeing films like this further my knowledge into the study of cinema as a whole. So the characters and story do help the lengthy runtime fly by quickly, and you can tell that this film has left a historic legacy behind it. Major shout out to the film for being used as inspiration for A Bug's Life as well. I love that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Do you
yeah.
know, Bugs Life was a film I didn't see most of my childhood.
Oh, so
And then I
good.
just managed to catch it one day. It was on telly,
It was my
so I hit record.
A Bug's Life was the first ever film I saw at the cinema.
Wow.
I was 3, and I went to see it, and I've adored it ever since.
It's a great film.
Great film,
It's a
great
great
film.
film. But Pixar can't go wrong.
No, well, yeah, grey area on that. They can, but we won't dip into that.
That was my quote from 2005 when I said it, of course.
Yes, of course, yeah. No, that's what your dad
That
said.
works, doesn't it?
That's what your dad said about cars, not you. That's what your dad said, right?
I mean, I've been making it up for the last
You're
5
quoting
minutes,
your
but-
dad in that scenario.
But hey, Pixar, the Pixar films I've seen, I've enjoyed.
Okay,
Apart from,
Cars 2.
and there's a few.
Yeah?
You carry on. Ignore
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Well, I was
ignore
just
me.
going to summarise with a
Ignore me.
rating for Seven Samurai anyway.
Go on.
I will give Seven Samurai a 4 out of 5 because you can't deny its quality. It is a very, very well-made film for its time, and there are really good action sequences and comedy sequences at play. I think I still rate A Bug's Life higher though with 4.5. So, my loyalty still stands.
But I will say this. So obviously it's a black and white film in Japanese audio with subtitles, English subtitles,
3 hours long.
3 hours long. What element would you say they would need to work on if they were to remaster it to maybe bump that up to a 5? If they were to only change one thing, would it be the English audio? Would it be the colour? Or would it be a
Honestly,
slightly shorter runtime?
The subtitles in the Japanese language didn't bother me at all. I think the most daunting aspect for it for me, ironically, was the runtime. I mean,
That is ironic.
I mean, I'm pretty biased with Lord of the Rings because obviously they're my favourite films. I never get tired of watching them. I am aware of how long all 3 of them are, but it doesn't bother me because they're my favourite film. I'm very biased on that. I get that.
But how do you just sit in front of a screen for that amount of time and just not?
I don't know.
To me, that's a different concept.
Well, the film's got to be gripping, and the film's got to be entertaining or moving, and provided it does any of those things, then it makes your time worthwhile.
To be fair, I'm the same with TV Burp. You could lose me for hours in front of that.
Exactly. Go figure, right?
Although, to be fair, it's not on anymore.
No.
So I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh, well.
But anyways, we digress.
We do.
Let's move on to next week, where we will certainly be bringing to these guys more fighting movies.
Now, what I'm interested in is you haven't brought a Jackie Chan film to the table on day one.
Not yet. No. But
He's got to be in this month.
There's still time. We've
It's
got
his month.
how many do we have left after this one? Like 4?
I think we've got 3.
3 or 4?
We got 3.
Okay, 3. No problem. 3's
We got
doable.
one more before Valentine's Day.
Okie dokie. I
We
can
got
do
one
that.
straight after Valentine's Day.
Leave it with me, Dan. I'll see what I can come up with.
Thanks.
But you guys know where to follow us. Letterboxd, that's the key place. Larkins95, Dan Moore Radio. You know where to follow us.
Everyone
Please
knows
do.
where to follow us.
Yeah, please do. Please feel free to chip in and pop into Letterboxd. See if you can find us. Feel free to follow.
Cannot wait for June. It is June.
It
Yeah,
is.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Never mind.
But of course, you can get involved as well here on YouTube. The notification bell on the no, what you got to do?
Like and subscribe.
You got to do it in a certain order, haven't you? You got to press subscribe, then the notification bell to find out when we're going live. And of course, you can watch these back on YouTube as well. So yes, of course, Tommy, as ever,
Always a joy, Dan.
it is always a joy.
I'll see you
And
next week.
Yes, and you audience at home, have a great rest of your week. And yeah, if you forgot about Valentine's Day, you've just had a reminder. In fact, you've had about 4 in this very episode. So get on that. And of course, Fighting February continues next week.
All the best, guys. Take care.